Everybody has a turn back moment. You have a moment where you can go forward or you can give up. But the thing you have to keep in mind before you give up is that if you give up, the guarantee is it will never happen. That's the guarantee of quitting, that it will never happen, no way under the sun. The only way the possibility remains that it can happen is if you never give up, no matter what.
All right, then now we're going to look at what is the arithmetic sequence, okay? Under the arithmetic sequence is very simple and straightforward. What we're going to do, we are just going to do what the common difference. This is a repetition of a common difference, okay? This is a geometric, the last one. This is a geometric what is sequence. It's very important to take notes under the geometric sequence. What is important here? This is a repetition of what of a common. This is a constant ratio. This is a repetition of a constant what ratio. Okay. Therefore, when I talk about the geometric sequence, is whereby we are just going to look at what a constant ratio, the repetition of a constant ratio. You cannot talk about what the common difference here on the geometric, then it's going to be what the wrong method. Okay. Therefore, that means that when I talk about the geometric, I normally say that it is an exponential what a sequence, okay? Because anything the general terms here is going to be equals to Tn equals what a raised to n minus 1, okay? Therefore, we normally say this is an exponential what sequence, a geometric what sequence. Then whereby we are just going to look at what the constant ratio, okay? Let's explain more deep here. What is a constant ratio? What are you talking about? Let's just talk about the constant ratio. A constant ratio, trait 12, is whereby we are just going to look at what is the value of r, okay? The value of r is where we normally say that is equals to T2 over T1 must be equals to T3 over what? T2, okay? Then as you know that a ratio is a fraction. A ratio is a fraction. That's why we normally say that T2 divided by T1, T3 divided by T2, because now we are just going to look at what is the fraction of what of a consecutive what term. A consecutive term divided a previous term. A consecutive term divided by what? A previous term. Okay, all right. All right, therefore, this is a value of r formula. This formula is going to help you to calculate the value of r, as well what is going to help you to prove this is a geometric sequence, as well what is going to help you to determine what is the unknown variable on the sequence, okay? Therefore, this is a rule. These are the rules that we're going to use on the arithmetic, okay? The arithmetic sequence is whereby you're just going to look at what is the repetition of a constant ratio, where we normally say that a ratio is always equal to the value of r in the formula, where the value of r is equal to T2 over T1 must be equal to T3 over T2, okay? Therefore, it's very important to take note of that. Then after that, we have a general formula, or the nth term of what of a geometric sequence. Therefore, this general term or nth term is written in the form of what exponent. Therefore, that's why I normally say this is the exponential what sequence. Okay. Therefore, what is important here on this general term is to take note that the value of a is always equals to the first term, same as what the arithmetic sequence. The value of a is equals to the first term on the sequence. The value of r is equals to what T2 over T1 must be equal to T3 over T2. The secret of r here is that we're going to use the value of r to calculate the general term, to calculate the unknown variable on the sequence, as well what to prove this is a geometric what sequence we use on the three things. Okay, then after that, how are we going to find what is the end? How are we going to use what is the constant ratio to find what the next two terms without using what is the formula? Is very simple. For example, this is my example. Okay, then if I'm just having 6 and I have 12, okay, then we don't use this one. Then I have 4 and I have 8 and I have 16. Okay, then after that, there's gonna say that determine the next two terms without using what the formula. Then on the statement, they're just gonna they are going to tell you that this is a what? This is a geometric sequence. Okay. Then they're just gonna say determine the next two terms. The first question. Okay. Then on the sequence, it's very simple. The sequence, we have two questions that are common. Is the next two terms as well what the general term. That is all about under what is the sequence, the common question that we need to know before you go to exam. Okay, then after that we have the high order question, whereby we are just going to prove that the sequence is positive. The sequence have a maximum value. We have even numbers. We prove that the sequence of even numbers, prove that sequence, determine the two consecutive terms. Those are the high order questions that we're going to do on the revision. Okay, then all right, then look, how do you use the ratio to calculate the next two terms without using what the formula? Okay, it's very simple. We're going to say that term 2, we have term 3, term 2, term 3. Okay, then we do this, but this one now is not what now is not a subtraction. Okay, but now it is a what? A ratio T2 divided by T1. Then 8 divided by 4 equals to 2. Do you see that? 16 divided by 8 equals to what? 2. Okay, therefore this is a constant ratio. Here we're going to have what? The constant ratio, which equals what? 2. Okay, these two, we call it is a constant ratio. It is a repetition of a constant ratio. This is the same thing, is a repetition of a constant ratio. A ratio is a fraction. A fraction is a ratio. Okay, all right, let's go. How are we going to use this ratio to find the next two terms here? Is very simple. How? We're going to say that 4 times 2 equals to 8. Do you see that? Then now we don't add, we don't subtract here, but now remember this division sign is friend is a what? A multiplication sign. Do you see that? If you divide, the inverse of division, it is a multiplication sign. If you subtract for arithmetic, then we're going to what? Add. Do you see that? These are the signs that are very important, the inverse operation of signs. Okay, therefore we have a division sign, then we're going to multiply. As you see, you divide, then you're going to multiply. You subtract for a difference. For D equals to T2 minus T1 is equals to T3 minus what? T2. You see, you subtract, we add. Do you remember that? We add. That is the inverse operation of signs. Okay, therefore, since we do the division signs here to get the constant ratio, then now to get the next term, we need to do what? The multiplication sign. 2 times 2 equals to 8. 8 times 2 equals to 16. 16 times 2 equals to 32. 32 times 2 equals to 64. Do you see that? These are the next two terms. It's very simple. All right. Therefore, we use the multiplication sign instead of adding. Okay. All right. Okay. How to determine the general terms here? It's very simple to determine the general term. What we're going to do? We are just going to say that the general term formula of a geometric sequence equals to what? Equals to a raised to n minus 1. Okay, remember n is the position, must be always positive and must be always a natural number. Okay, therefore a is equal to the first term. Okay, then how do you calculate the nth term or general term is simple. Tn is equal to substitute. What is the first term here? It is 4. You substitute 4. What is the value of r? This is the value of r. Remember, it's equals to 2 raised to n minus 1. Then after that, you underline. Then you are done. You're going to get what? 2 marks on your exam. Do you see that? It's very simple, all right? Therefore, the value of r, we use the value of r to calculate what? To calculate the general term, as well as to prove the sequence. It is a geometric sequence, as well as to calculate the unknown variable on what? On the sequence. How? Let's do the example for the unknown variables to see that this is the example. It is x minus 1, and we have x. We have x plus 1. We have x minus 1. X minus 1, and we have 2. Okay, let me write like this one. We have x minus plus 1, have x minus 1, and have 2x minus 5 or plus 5. Let's think it's 2x plus 5. Let's do this example to use what's the ratio, the value of r. How do you use the value of r? To calculate what the unknown variable on the geometry. Then we are just being told that this is a geometric sequence. Okay, it's very simple. How are we going to do this? We are just going to say that we have r equals to t2 over t1, which is equals to t3 over t2. Therefore, we're going to say that substitute. We have x minus 1 over x plus 1 is equal to, what is t3? It is 2x minus 5 over x minus 1. This is our team. This is a equation now. We need to solve the value of what? Of x here. How? We're going to do what is the cross multiplication. Then we have x minus 1 into x minus 1 equals to x plus 1 into 2x minus 5. Therefore, this is a product. Then we remove the brackets. Use fall. X times x is equals to x squared. Then we have minus 2x. Then we have plus 1. Then this is fall. Then here we're going to say that we have 2x. We have 2x squared. Then after that, we're going to say that we have negative 5x. Then plus 2x is going to be equals to what? Negative 3x. Then we have negative 5. Okay. Then after that, you collect the like terms. Use fall here. X times x squared. Then x minus 5. Then is plus. Then is okay. Then we collect the like terms down. This one we then let's take this one and transpose on this side. Then this x gonna manipulate 1x here. Then we left with what? 2x. Okay. Then negative 2x, when it's come on the right hand side, it's going to change the sign. It's going to be positive. Then it's going to be what? Negative x. Okay. Negative 3x plus 2 is going to be negative x. Then this positive one is going to change to what? Negative. Then it's going to be negative 6 equals to 0. Then after that, you factorize or use a quadratic formula if you don't know how to factorize. Then we have x, we have 3, we have 2, then we have negative, have positive. Therefore, x is equal to negative 2 or x is equal to 3. Okay. Then after that, you check which variable is accurate here. Then the substitute 2 here. 2 plus 1 is 2. Negative 2 plus 1 is equal to what? Let me erase here. Let me erase here now. Then I don't have enough space. Then negative 2 plus 1 is equal to what? Negative 1. Okay, that's the first term. Then negative 2 minus 1 is equal to negative 3. That's the second term. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 is negative 4 minus 5, it is negative 9. Okay, therefore 3 divided by 1 is equal to negative 3 divided by negative 1 is equal to 3. Then 9 divided by negative 3 is equal to negative 3. Therefore, that is value is correct. Let's check this one. 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. Then 3 minus 1 is equals to 2. 2 times 3 is 6 minus 5 equals to 1. Therefore, let's check. 2 divided by 4 equals 1 over 2. 1 divided by 2 is 1 over 2. Therefore, that sequence is correct. Therefore, these two variables, they are correct for a geometric sequence. Okay? Therefore, that is all about the geometric sequence. I'm going to do the revision for a geometric sequence is. All right? Then that is all about the introduction. That is a very basic concept that's and the sequences. Okay, remember I said that you need to do the introduction of a sequence, a series, a sigma, and the sum to infinity. There are 4 chapters that we need to complete. Okay, all right, after that you're gonna do the revision for the whole number pattern. Okay, all right.